The girl who vanished. The night was quiet in the small town of Haven Hill. 17-year-old Emily Carter was walking home after visiting her friend. The streets were empty, and the only sound was her footsteps on the road. She looked up at the sky. The stars were bright tonight. A strange light blinked high above. She paused. The light grew bigger and brighter. Suddenly it rushed down, fast like a falling star. Emily stepped back, shielding her eyes. The air around her turned cold. Everything became silent. No cars, no animals, nothing. Then the light hit the ground. There was no explosion. No sound, just white light. And then she was gone. Back in her house, Emily's father, Dr. Thomas Carter, checked the clock. Midnight. She was late. He tried calling her. No answer. His hands trembled slightly. Something felt wrong. He wasn't just a father. Years ago, he had worked for a top-secret space project, one that even most governments didn't know about. He grabbed his coat and rushed outside. The streets were empty. Only a few streetlights blinked in the dark. He called the police, but they treated it like a normal runaway case. "She's just a teenager, sir. Maybe she lost track of time," the officer said. But Thomas knew his daughter. She never stayed out late. She was careful, smart, strong. She didn't just disappear. And then he found something strange. In the spot where she vanished, the air still felt cold. His watch stopped working. His phone lost signal. On the ground, there was a faint circle like the grass had been pressed down. Thomas's face turned pale. "This wasn't human," he whispered. Light years away, deep in space, a massive alien ship floated in darkness. Inside, Emily lay on a metal bed surrounded by tall gray creatures with 4 arms and glowing red eyes. They were Karnaks, a powerful alien race known for collecting species from across the galaxy. To them, humans were just another test subject. Emily woke up slowly. Her head hurt, and everything around her looked strange. The walls were silver, and the air smelled like burnt metal. She saw the aliens staring at her. She didn't scream. Instead, she sat up and looked them in the eyes. "Where am I?" she asked calmly. The Karnaks tilted their heads, surprised by her bravery. One of them spoke in a robotic voice. "You are a subject. You will be studied. Do not resist." Emily's heart was beating fast, but she stayed strong. "You made a mistake," she said. The alien laughed, a low, harsh sound. "You are small, weak, alone." Emily stared at him. "You have no idea what you've done." Back on Earth, Thomas sat alone in his basement. The walls were covered with maps, notes, and old files. He opened a locked drawer and took out a small metal box. Inside was a round device with blinking blue lights. It was a deep space signal beacon. He hadn't touched it in over 10 years. He placed it on the table and powered it up. The lights turned green. The screen showed a blinking dot. In space. Far away. "I knew this day would come," he said to himself. He typed in a code. One only a few people on Earth knew. The device sent a silent signal into space. A message to Earth's hidden fleet. Somewhere in a secret base under the Pacific Ocean, the message was received. An officer read the alert and stood up quickly. Code Black. Human captured by alien force. Sirens lit up. Soldiers ran through the hallways. Ships began to warm up. Earth had always prepared for this day. In secret. Because long ago, humans had learned they were not alone. Back in the alien ship, Emily sat quietly. She listened to the guards, watched their movements, and counted how often they changed shifts. She wasn't just smart. She was trained. Her father had taught her things that normal teenagers didn't know. She looked around and whispered to herself, "They think I'm weak. Let's keep it that way." At that moment, far away in deep space, a human stealth ship changed its course. Its mission was simple: find the girl, bring her home, and if needed, start a war. Part 2, Earth Secret Response Series, Aliens Captured a Human Girl. and triggered a galactic war channel, HFY Sci-Fi length. 800 words. Style, third person. Simple English. Suspenseful and engaging. Earth was never as weak as it looked. While most people lived their lives going to school, working, shopping, laughing, there were places deep underground, far from cities, where silence ruled. And today, that silence broke. Under the Pacific Ocean, in a base called Black Echo, red lights flashed. Sirens wailed softly in the hallways. The message had arrived. Code Black. Human life form taken by non-human Force Commander Rhea Morgan. A woman with gray streaks in her hair and steel in her eyes read the message again. Her face didn't move, but her mind was already racing. Prepare. The fleet, she said. A young officer looked up. Ma'am, this is just one girl. Rhea turned to him. And that's how it begins. Back in Haven Hill, Thomas Carter sat in his basement watching the signal blink on his device. It meant someone was coming. The Earth fleet had received his call. He leaned back in his chair, eyes full of both fear and hope. I taught her everything I could, he whispered. But this is bigger. In space, far beyond the moon, the Shadowlight, a black stealth cruiser, came alive. It was invisible to all normal sensors. Even most aliens didn't know humans had ships like this. Captain Silas Kane stood at the front, staring into the stars. Mission? He asked. A voice from the control panel replied, Rescue 1. Make the enemy regret everything. He nodded. Finally, Earth had always known the truth. 50 years ago, a deep space probe had captured strange signals. Not natural, not human. The governments of Earth had argued, panicked, and finally, planned. They created Project Titan, a secret program to build weapons, ships, and alliances with friendly alien species. While the world watched movies and played games, Earth had been preparing for war, but they had hoped they'd never need it. Now they did. On the alien ship, Emily sat in a cell made of silver walls and blinking lights. She had no phone, no tools, no weapons. But she had something better, a memory. When she was just 9, her father had shown her how to open an old alien lock. She thought it was just a game. He told her, one day this might matter. She had laughed. Now she looked at the cell door and smiled. I think today's the day, Dad. Back at Black Echo, Commander Rhea watched as screens filled with data. Other countries, the ones secretly part of Project Titan, were already moving. India, Russia, the US, China, Brazil, old rivals now shared the same goal: bring Emily home, or burn the ones who took her. In space, small satellites turned, hidden weapons woke up. A ship near Mars changed course. It looked like war. In a hidden chamber inside Black Echo, a large alien stood behind glass. He had green skin, 4 eyes, and sharp fangs. But he wasn't a prisoner. He was an ally. His name was Vurok from the planet Tivan. He had fought the Karnaks before. He hated them. He looked at Commander Rhea. They think your kind is soft. They think taking one child won't matter. Rhea crossed her arms. Then they've never met her father. Meanwhile, Emily leaned against the wall. 2 Karnak guards stood outside her cell, speaking in their strange, sharp language. She listened carefully. They were talking about Earth. They didn't know much. They thought humans had no ships, no real power. She smiled again. Keep thinking that, she whispered. Suddenly, the lights in the hallway flickered. A low hum filled the air. One of the guards turned. Intrusion alert, he said in panic. Emily stood up. Her heart raced. They're coming, she said. High above, the Shadowlight exited stealth mode for just 1 second. Just long enough to send a message into the Karnak ship systems. 1 word. Found. Then it vanished again. The Karnak captain looked at the message and froze. He had never seen anything get that close without being noticed. Humans, he hissed. Impossible. But it was very possible. The Shadowlight was now hidden again, and moving fast. Emily's cell powered down. The door unlocked with a soft hiss. She stepped out slowly. No guards, no alarms, just darkness. She looked left, then right, and whispered, "Let's begin." The first strike series, aliens captured. A human girl, and triggered a galactic war channel. HFY Sci-Fi length, and 800 words. Style, third person. Simple English. Suspenseful, tense, and powerful, the Karnak Empire had conquered over 200 planets. But they had never fought humans. Not yet. The stars were calm. A silver Karnak patrol ship floated near a gas giant. Its crew was bored. No danger in this sector. Only weak species. Only silence. Then, the silence died. Out of nowhere, a dark shadow appeared behind them. No warning, no signal, just death. The Shadow Light, Earth's stealth warship, launched its first strike. One precise shot. No sound. Just a beam of invisible energy slicing the Karnak ship in half. In 6 seconds, the patrol ship was gone. Not damaged, not disabled, gone. On board the Shadow Light, Captain Silas Kane watched the remains burn in silence. "No survivors," the pilot said. "Good," Kane replied. "Now they'll notice us." Back on the Karnak capital ship, the one holding Emily, alarms blared. Red lights flashed. Commanders shouted in their alien tongue. They had just lost a patrol ship. Fast, clean, with no warning. This wasn't normal. This wasn't like anything they had seen before. Inside her cell, Emily stood near the door. It had opened. She didn't know who did it, but she had a feeling. "They're close," she whispered. Her heart beat faster. 2 guards came running down the hallway. She ducked into a shadow, picked up a broken pipe, and waited. As one guard passed, she moved, fast and silent. One hit to the head, one to the leg. Both down. She took a weapon from the second one, a strange metal stick that glowed with energy. Emily didn't know how to use it yet, but she would. Learn. Far above, Earth's fleet was moving. Not just the Shadow Light now. 3 more stealth cruisers left hidden bases around the solar system. Each one carried Marines trained for alien war. Each one armed with tech the galaxy had never seen. Humanity was no longer watching the stars. It was entering them. In the Karnak High Command, the Supreme Overseer looked at the damage report. A patrol ship destroyed by... Who? A scientist stepped forward, shaking. The ship didn't detect anything, but a message came through. One word. Found. The Overseer stared at the screen. "Humans," he said. "They are primitives," another commander argued. "Barely spaceborne." The Overseer turned. "Then why are we losing ships?" Emily ran through the corridors. She kept low, hiding behind pipes and doors. She didn't know where she was going, but she trusted her instincts. Every few minutes, the lights flickered. She guessed someone was hacking the ship systems. "Thanks, Dad," she whispered. Then she reached a door with a glowing map on the wall. It showed the ship layout, and it showed something else, a blinking blue dot. She smiled. "Rescue team," she said. She grabbed a Karnak device and pressed a few buttons. She didn't know the language, but she understood symbols. She sent a short signal. 3 words. "I'm still alive." On board the Shadow Light, the signal came through. "She's signaling," the pilot said. Captain Kane stood up. "Prepare boarding squad." This just became real. In a small room deep inside the Karnak ship, 2 engineers argued. She broke out. She sent a signal. She's just one human girl. One of them looked at the security feed. It showed Emily beating a guard with his own weapon. They stared. "She's not normal," one whispered. "She's human," the other replied. "They're never normal." Emily moved fast now. Every room she passed, she left a sign. Doors open, power cut, weapons stolen. She wasn't running anymore. She was fighting back. The Karnaks tried to stop her. They sent more guards. She defeated them. They locked doors. She hacked them. They shut off lights. She used the dark. Then the walls shook. A loud boom echoed through the ship. Emily stopped. Another boom. She smiled. They're here. The Karnak ship's outer wall exploded inward. Human Marines in black armor stormed in, using silenced weapons and glowing shields. They moved like shadows, clearing rooms in seconds. Emily stepped into the hallway just as one soldier turned a corner. They pointed weapons at each other. Then the Marine said, "Emily Carter?" She nodded. He lowered his gun. "Welcome back." But it wasn't over, not even close. From the command deck, the Karnak overseer watched the breach on screen. "Humans want war," he said. "Then they will have war." The Hidden Weapon series, aliens captured a human girl and triggered a galactic war channel, HFY Sci-Fi length, 800 words, style, third person, simple English, suspenseful, mysterious, and action-packed, not. Everything humans built was meant to be used. Some weapons were so dangerous. Even Earth feared them. But today, fear was no longer enough. Deep inside a hidden vault in Black Echo Base, alarms flashed blue, a different kind of alarm. Commander Rhea Morgan stood before a thick metal door. Behind it was a weapon no one had touched in years. A voice echoed from the system. "Confirm use of Omega-class technology. Authorization required." Rhea placed her hand on the scanner. "This war has begun," she said. "Authorization confirmed." The door slid open with a heavy hiss. Inside sat a black cube, small, silent, humming with power. The Ark Core. Far above Earth, in orbit, a science vessel named Horizon 12 received a direct order. "Prepare to launch Omega-class payload. Target: Karnak command vessel." The crew froze. They had trained for this but never believed it would happen. The captain looked at the order again. "A human girl was taken," he said quietly. Then he gave the command. Meanwhile, inside the Karnak ship, Emily followed the Marines through the ruined corridors. She now held a stolen alien weapon in one hand and a human pistol in the other. "Extraction point is close," the lead Marine said. But Emily stopped. She turned to a nearby screen, something she had seen while running earlier. "Wait," she said. The Marines looked at her. "There's something in this ship," she said. "Something big. I saw blueprints, a massive chamber, sealed tight." The Marine captain checked his scanner. "Could be a lab," he said. Emily shook her head. "It's not a lab. It's glowing." On the command deck, the Karnak overseer smiled. "Let them come," he said. The humans had moved fast, stronger than expected, smarter than believed. But they didn't know everything. Beneath the Karnak ship, in its lowest levels, was a secret. Not a weapon, not a prison, a creature, a living thing bred for war. The Razor Beast. Tall as 3 men, skin like iron, and born to destroy anything that bleeds. And now it was waking up. Back on Earth, the Ark Core was loaded into a drone ship, tiny, silent, undetectable. It left Earth's orbit with one mission: reach the Karnak fleet and deliver the core. It wasn't a bomb. Not in the usual way. The Ark Core used something older than fire, older than bullets. It bent gravity itself. In the wrong hands, it could tear a moon in half. In the right hands, it could end wars. Inside the Karnak ship, lights dimmed. A low, deep growl echoed through the metal halls. Emily stopped. So did the Marines. "What is that?" one asked. Emily turned slowly. From the dark hallway behind them, it stepped out. 10 feet tall, eyes glowing orange, teeth like blades. The Razor Beast. "Fall. Back!" the Marine captain shouted, but it was too late. The creature roared, loud, shaking the walls, and charged. The Marines opened fire. Bullets hit, sparks flew, but it kept coming. One Marine went down. Another screamed as he was thrown into a... While Emily stood still, then she saw it. A pipe above the beast, loose leaking fuel. She ran, climbed a side railing and jumped, grabbing the pipe. It broke free and crashed down on the beast. Fuel spilled everywhere. Emily grabbed a Karnak energy stick from the floor. "Hey, ugly!" she shouted. The beast turned, just as she threw the stick. It sparked. Then everything exploded. Smoke filled the hallway. Fire danced on the walls. The beast was down. Not dead, but hurt badly. The Marines stared at her. "You're not just some girl," one whispered. Emily wiped her face. "No, I'm human." Meanwhile, in deep space, the drone ship carrying the Ark Core reached its target, the Karnak command fleet. No one saw it coming. No one heard it land. It just arrived. And then the stars bent. On the overseer's screen, everything twisted. The ship started shaking. "What is this?" he shouted. The scientist screamed, "It's a gravity weapon. It's rewriting the space around us." One of the screens exploded. The overseer stared out the window. Far away, he saw a human ship. And then silence. The core didn't explode. It just turned everything off. Engines, weapons, shields. The Karnak fleet went dark, floating, dead in space. Back, on the shadow light, Captain Kane smiled. "Let that be a message," he said. "You don't touch our people." But the war was far from over. The Karnaks had more ships, more soldiers, and worse. They were now afraid. And when monsters get scared, they strike harder. Retaliation from the Stars series. Aliens captured a human girl and triggered a galactic war channel, HFY Sci-Fi length, 800 words, style, third person, simple English, fast-paced, suspenseful, and emotional. Some enemies stay silent when they lose. The Karnaks roared. Across the galaxy, hundreds of Karnak warships received one order: Earth must burn. They had underestimated humans, thought them weak, thought they'd beg or hide. Instead, they struck first, destroyed a patrol ship, freed the prisoner, disabled the command fleet. Now the Karnaks were angry and scared. They didn't just want revenge, they wanted to send a message. In a dark chamber on the Karnak homeworld, the Supreme Overseer stood before a council of warlords. His voice was cold. "They brought gravity weapons to our skies. They made our ships fall like toys." He stepped forward. "Now we show them what true power looks like." He lifted a black crystal. The warlords all stared. One of them gasped. "You can't mean I do." It was the Void Shard, a weapon not fired in 1,000 years. Because the last time it was used, an entire sun went dark. Back on Earth, Commander Rhea received the new intel. Satellites picked up multiple Karnak fleets moving fast, no longer in hiding. Straight, toward Earth. 3 days, the tech officer said. Then they're here. She looked at the monitor. Her jaw tightened. Then we stopped being quiet. In Haven Hill, Thomas Carter stood outside his cabin looking up at the stars. Emily was alive, safe for now. But he felt it. Something was coming. He had fought in wars before. Secret ones. Off-world. But this felt final. He walked back, into his cabin, opened a sealed chest and pulled out an old device. A small, glowing badge with strange markings. He pressed it. It lit up. Then it spoke. Titan protocol unlocked. Above Earth, defense satellites woke up. Some looked like junk. Others looked like comets. All of them were weapons. They locked onto Karnak fleet paths. Every city on Earth went into silent defense mode. Shields activated. Skies darkened. Borders closed. Earth wasn't going to run. It was going to stand. On board the Shadow Light, Emily stared out a viewing window. "I thought escaping was the hard part," she said. Captain Kane stood beside her. "It was. Now comes the impossible part." She turned to him. "They're coming for me, aren't they?" He nodded. "They think you're a symbol now. If they kill you, they think the humans will fold." Emily smirked. "Then let them try." In the darkness of deep space, the Karnak war fleet approached. 700 ships strong, each one carrying weapons, designed to crack moons and silence planets. At the center, the void shard pulsed with dark light. Back on Earth, a council of world leaders and Titan commanders met underground. Even with the Arc Corps, we can't fight all of them, one general said. Rhea stood tall. We don't need to fight them all. We need to make them fear us again. She pointed to a screen. A plan lit up. Risky one. Send one ship, one girl, one shot. They'd let the Karnak see her coming. And then, they'd unleash something Earth had never dared use in the open. Emily volunteered before they could finish the plan. I started this. Let me finish. No, Rhea said. We sent you out once, we won't lose you again. Emily looked at her. Then don't send me alone. That night Earth watched the skies. Not in fear. In silence. Families held hands. Soldiers stood ready. And in the stars above, the final battle began to form. But somewhere, something else woke up. Deep in the asteroid belt, in a hollowed-out rock, a machine blinked to life. Old, rusted human Project Thanatos. Not even the Titan commanders had activated it, but it had heard the words, Earth must burn. It had only one job, prevent extinction. It opened its weapons bay, charged itself, and whispered, in a voice only space could hear, for humanity. Part 6, Earth's Last Stand series. Aliens captured a human girl and triggered a galactic. War Channel, HFY Sci-Fi length, 800 words. Style, third person, simple English, emotional, epic, and defiant. The Karnaks didn't believe in mercy. Earth never asked for it. The sky above Earth had changed. What used to be stars were now blinking red dots. Enemy ships, hundreds of them. Karnak warships blocked the moon, darkened the sun, and filled space with weapons. The countdown had begun. Hours. That's all Earth had left. Underground inside Earth's last command bunker, Commander Rhea stared at the screen. No way out. No more time. She looked around the war room. Every leader, every general, every scientist, silent. Then she spoke. If this is the end, we don't end as victims. We end as monsters they'll never forget. Above, civilian cities turned off their lights. Hospitals moved underground. AI defenses powered up. Orbital cannons locked into place. Earth wasn't hiding. It was getting ready to bite back. In a secret launch bay, Emily stood in front of her new ship, the Vengeance. It wasn't big. It wasn't beautiful. But it was fast, silent, and armed with something the Karnaks had never seen. The Titan Lance, a weapon powered by Earth's last supply of dark matter energy. It could tear a hole through a battleship, but it could only fire once. Why me? Emily asked. Captain Kane handed her the mission chip. Because you're the reason this started, and because they fear you. He paused. And maybe, because you don't. In orbit, the Karnak fleet opened comms. A message played across Earth's systems. You have one chance. Surrender the girl. Kneel, and we will allow your kind to serve. Resist, and your planet will burn. The people of Earth listened. Then one old woman, a school teacher in New London, walked outside. She faced the sky and raised her middle finger. Others followed. In cities, in forests, on mountaintops. Across Earth, one message rose from billions of humans. Come and try. Inside the Vengeance, Emily strapped in. She looked at Earth one last time. I'll be back, she whispered. The ship launched, straight into the swarm. The Karnaks didn't notice her ship at first, too small, too quiet. But when it reached their command carrier, they did. Alarms rang across the fleet. Too late. Emily locked the Titan Lance, took a deep breath, and fired. A beam of black-blue light ripped through the enemy ship. Not just one. 3 of them, lined up, exploded in silence. Metal burned, fire danced, shockwaves hit the others. On Earth, Cheers echoed. One small human ship had taken out 3 Karnak battleships. But the Karnaks were not done. They struck back. Fast, hard. Hundreds of plasma beams chased the Vengeance. Emily swerved, dodged, but not fast enough. One hit clipped her wing. Another struck the engine. Systems failed. The ship spun. Alarms screamed. Emily gritted her teeth. Not today. She flipped the emergency switch and crashed straight into the belly of a Karnak destroyer. Fire. Smoke. Pain. She crawled out, dragging the mission chip with her. One goal now. Reach the enemy control core. Back on Earth, Commander Rhea received the signal Emily was still alive. She turned to Thomas Carter. She's inside their ship. He nodded. Quiet. Focused. Then the real fight begins. The world's final weapon activated. Thanatos Protocol. A system built in secret. Meant to be used if Earth ever faced extinction. It wasn't a gun. It was a virus. Not for machines. For minds. It targeted the Karnak's neural tech. The link between their thoughts and their ships. And it was about to shut them all down. Emily reached the control core. Guards stood in her way. She fought like a storm. No time to be gentle. No time to feel pain. Just one mission. Get the chip to the core. She slammed it into the panel. Lights flashed red. The Thanatos virus spread through the Karnak network like fire on dry grass. Ships stopped moving. Weapons powered down. Pilots screamed. Some even fell unconscious. From Earth, humanity watched. The stars go quiet, and then Earth struck. Every hidden cannon, every stealth drone, every last missile fired. The sky lit up with fire and metal. Karnak ships burned across the orbit. They had come to destroy. Now they ran. The few that survived jumped away. Scattered, defeated, afraid, on the ground. People cried. Not in fear, in victory. Earth had won. But deep in space, something else watched. Something bigger than the Karnaks, and it whispered to itself. Humans are not ready for peace. They are something worse. They are the next threat. The new enemy series, aliens captured a human girl and triggered a galactic war channel, HFY Sci-Fi length, 800 words, style, third person, simple English, dark, epic, and legendary. The war was over, but peace never came, because something else had been watching, and it was older than war itself, Enide. The silence of deep space, a signal was sent, not by humans, not by Karnaks, but by something hidden, the architects. They had built the first stars, created galaxies, made species rise and fall, and now they had found something dangerous, us. On Earth, people celebrated, cities lit up, skies were clear. Emily sat on a hospital bed, her arm in a sling, watching the news. Karnak fleets retreat. Earth stands free. But something felt wrong. Too quiet. Too easy. Her fingers tapped the bed rail. Something in her gut whispered, "It's not over." Far away, in an unknown system, the architects met. They didn't have faces. They didn't use voices. They shared thoughts, and they agreed on one thing. The humans are not ready. They are too wild, too clever, too angry. They must be adjusted. Back on Earth, the skies changed again. A strange ripple spread across space. Telescopes broke. Satellites shut down. And above the moon, a shape appeared. Not a ship. Not a fleet. A structure. Black, silent, endless, as if space itself had a wound. Commander Rhea watched from Shadowlight Station. She whispered, "What is that?" It didn't move. It didn't speak. It just existed. And across the world, people felt it, in their dreams, in their blood. Even machines started whispering strange messages. They are coming. We are the mirror. You are the threat. Thomas. Carter stood in the forest, axe in hand, staring at the sky. He knew, somehow, He knew. This wasn't just another enemy. This was judgment. The architects didn't attack with fire. They attacked with memory. People forgot names, forgot how to read, even forgot who they were. Ships stopped flying. Weapons wouldn't lock. It was like Earth itself was falling. Backward. In a hidden lab, Emily looked at her blood under a scanner. It glowed, strange patterns, alien code. The Karnaks had done something to her, changed her. But now, the change was protecting her. She still remembered, still saw clearly. She sent out a call. To anyone still awake, still thinking, meet me, we fight again. Across Earth, small groups answered. Soldiers, scientists, survivors, people who weren't affected by the memory wipe. They became known as the Remembered. In the darkness of the architect's structure, a mind watched her. Not angry, not afraid, just curious. Why does she resist? Why does she remember? Emily stood before a council of titans and world leaders. This isn't a war we can win with guns, she said. This is about proving we deserve to exist. One general asked, and if we don't? She looked at him. Calm, strong, then we fight anyway. The Remembered launched one ship, not to attack, to enter the structure, to face whatever was inside, and at the center of the ship stood Emily, wearing black armor, holding nothing but a blade made of starlight. She entered the structure. Alone. Inside, the architects waited. No light, no sound, only thought. You should not be here. You are not chosen. She stepped forward. I wasn't chosen, she said. I survived. They showed her a vision. Thousands of dead planets, destroyed by species like hers. But none had fought back. None had remembered. Until now. Emily lifted her blade. You fear us, she said, and you should. The architects paused. For the first time in their long, cold lives, they hesitated. This human was different. She wasn't just a fighter. She was a signal of what was coming. They released a message to the stars. Humanity has passed the trial. The galaxy is now yours. Then the structure broke apart into dust. Gone. Back on Earth, the skies cleared. People looked up, not in fear, but in wonder. Emily returned, changed, stronger. The girl who was taken had become the symbol of Earth's rise, and the galaxy would never forget what happened when someone took a human girl. The end.